Hello everyone, today I'm going to ride to an abandoned temple, which is about 100 kilometers away from here. I will ride only dirt roads as much as possible, and I will try to follow a local canal which is used by the local farmers to grow plants and vegetables and such things. Hopefully I will find some interesting things around the way. I hope you will enjoy this ride as much as I do. Let's see how it goes. I started my journey at the beginning of the dirt road area, which leads to the canal. The canal was planned already in the middle of the 18th century, but the actual building started only after the Second World War and continued about 20 years. Since then, there is no new canal in this area. The dirt road next to the canal is used mostly by local farmers and fishermen, and its route changes every year depending on the needs. If I want to follow the planned track, I must keep my eyes on the GPS and the actual path too, because sometimes I can get stuck if the abandoned dirt road just stops somewhere in the middle of nowhere. And then I found some sort of irrigation machine. They are so simple and huge, I always wonder how it is moved on the ground further and back. Is it self-propelled, or is pulled by multiple tractors or something like this? We will see. And this must be the small dam used to raise the water level if needed. I doubt it is functional in this damaged condition. Well, anyway, let's continue my journey. The dirt road I followed led me temporarily away from the canal to a nearby military exercise field. The track changed to deep sand and occasionally deep and mysterious mud too. I just wonder what causes these muddy areas since there was no significant rain in the last 2 months. Or maybe I don't wanna know. And then I found a lonely abandoned and ruined building, or a shed, or maybe a guardhouse since I'm next to a military field. So abandoned and ruined things are my favorites, so it's always a good idea to check them closely. I hope. I didn't stop my motorbike's engine just in any case. I approached the shed carefully, stepping in a campfire. In there, I found a bucket and a bed-like thing. Ooh, yuck. And a giant wasp nest. It seemed a good idea to investigate no further in this wreck. So I just left the scenery, stepping again in the campfire. Finally, I got back to the canal. This time, it was even more beautiful than before. I had to be careful because the local fishers dig some fishing holes right in the middle of the track. I really didn't want to fall into any of these. And then again, my journey led me to the dead end, or something like that. This is a bridge washed out by the water, and I was not sure if I take this crossing because I'm alone. And if something goes wrong, there's nobody around to help me pull out my motorbike from the hole. So I kinda turned around and had to choose another path again. The dirt roads led me back to an area where people are living in this rare habited land. Nice sand roads here, right, but I think living here must be difficult since there is only electricity and nothing else. I just wonder, what are they doing here all of their lifetime? I found something interesting. A shedoof. If you don't know, the shedoof is some kind of well originated from 3000 BC from the Mesopotamians, and it's mainly used for irrigation. This one looks like a makeshift one, but it seemed really functional at the same time. Like one used to give water regularly to a farmed animals. It was spectacular in its own simplicity, so I was curious what's inside. And yes, there she was, another motorbike rider waving me back from the other side of the world. She was happy to seeing me. Since she was happy, I just checked the shedoof. Yes, there is a new bucket. There are the huge poles connected to each other, working as the well. And yes, there is a counterweight too. So if I was thirsty, I was able to drink it. But fortunately, I was not. And yet, there again, something didn't match with the GPS track and the reality. So I had to improvise again. Near the base appeared more and more frequently some unmistakable signs of the nearby city. Trash piles next to the track. Yes, small ones and bigger ones and even bigger ones. Since I had to go back into the civilization, I show you the railway station of the nearby village. This village has about 2,000 inhabitants, and this is their only railway station. Yes, it isn't abandoned. It is used by local people to reach the nearby large city every day. And it looks like this. I just wonder... I just wonder. I love these old concrete railings next to the road. They can be found only these kind of abandoned areas. Well, anyway, I feel myself lucky to find places like this. And this. Let's go back to the Canal-ride. After a while, I found myself in the Dakar Rally atmosphere as the dirt road changed into the deep sand road. I was wondering how can be a road next to an irrigation canal so full of sand. Meanwhile, I was balancing on the wobbly track not to fall into the water. It would be really unpleasant in my long journey in this cold February day. Anyway, the desert-like view was spectacular. Then I found this little bridge which connected the two banks leading from nowhere into nowhere. Then I found this water crossing which seemed to be a perfect camping spot. Then I found some fishers, and then I found some huge white birds. Herons maybe, or swans, or cranes. Anyway, I wanted to see them close, so I stopped my motorbike as fast as I could. Well, on this deserted land, it wasn't easy, but this was the fastest I could do, and I wanted to check the birds, but they were not interested about me. So I just waved them goodbye and continued my journey to the abandoned temple. One of the huge white birds seemed to be a lone rider like myself. He or she joined me for a short time along the way. You can see him on the left hand side. The sun was already really low on the horizon, showing me I'm already over an hour late to my planned schedule. Even so, I had to stop to adore the view. So wonderful in the February sunset. And yes, that way I had to go further. This was my last water crossing on this journey. After this, I had to move away from the canal to reach the end of my trip, the ruined temple. And so, finally, after 1.5 hours late, arrived to my destination. I can't help it, but I love ruins, and so I love temples, even if it's so insignificant like this one. This one was built in the 14th century in Roman style. It's pretty small, about 12 meters long and 6 meters wide, about 10 meters tall, and it was abandoned in the 16th century when the nearby village was abandoned too. You can imagine how poor and isolated people were living here when you think about at the time this temple was built in Roman style. The French cathedrals were already standing long ago, and about the Renaissance in Italy started. Even if I could spend hours in this solitude, I had to hurry to go home because I was about 100 kilometers away and it was really freezing cold in February. One last turn around the temple and one last time to adore it in the February sunset. It is time to say goodbye and go home. 100 kilometer freezing cold and dark ride is ahead of me today. There is a goodbye dog under the trees on the right hand side, pretty common out here on the fields around farms. I am sure all of you have a good story about a self-experienced dog chase. Tarmac road leads me back into this civilization. Shame it's too late because this village is full of funny colored houses and shop-like buildings. Like this pink one and the yellow one. So with the full moon on the horizon, I say now goodbye to you. Thank you for watching my little journey and see you next time.